line between what people tell them that God told them and what the devil whispers to them. Sometimes a very thin line. You know, why people do that, we really, first of all, we can't look at the media as being a gauge of what people are saying, because some of this stuff is really doctored up and is, when you watch the news, you're watching, they say live, but the news is edited. Right. So, yeah, so, I mean, as far as why people do that, this is one, religious extremism, and secondly, you look around the world. Imam John, I think he was supposed to be here today. We had a conference like this last week, and we mentioned this. We said that in our country, we're like one of the most advanced nations in the world, but we're also very naive and gullible with respect to what's going on in the world. And we only know what people are telling us, and they're not giving us the full story. So with respect to some people who are claiming to do these things in the name of Islam, a lot of times, there's a political agenda behind it. A lot of times, we don't know what's going on to make them behave. Some of these countries are being bombed, they're being sanctioned. People, their basic necessities are being taken away from them. And then it gets to us as the news that they're terrorists, but, this last week, in the span of time, people that we call terrorists, now they were freedom fighters when they were supporting an agenda. You see what I'm saying? So the media is manipulating a lot of this stuff. And, the devil has great influence on people. The same thing that's telling people to blow up things is the same thing that told, Jim Jones to tell people to drink Kool-Aid, and 900 people accept it. So, that it really has nothing to do with religion, because religion is one thing, and blame on something. Yeah, religion is one thing, and people's interpretation of it is another. So, but this goes back to you coming out and you getting firsthand of what Islam is and what it isn't, because how many people are still looking at the news and they are identifying Islam with what they see in another country.
Wish more non-Muslims would have come out
today. There was something on Facebook that was floating around that said that if Muslims were terrorists like people say, and if it's 1 billion of us in the world, and people know how committed we are to Islam, then this would be something we would just do without second thought. So if it was about killing people unjustly, and if Muslims, they stick to it, they're stringent about sticking to their religion, we would have done that. But that's not what Islam is about. As Sheikh Yusuf mentioned, that if a person takes a life unjustly, it's like if he took the life of whole mankind. So life is very sacred, whether it's a Muslim or non-Muslim life. And one of the goals of Islam is the preservation of life.
The lady still wants to talk.
Oh, you got it?
Yes, I have a question, and I think it's been before the United Nations. If Israel can be its own nation, why can't Palestine have its nation? And I think that should be brought up before the United Nations. I think they should have it. And I'm for it. If I had the power to do it, I'd go to the United Nations and fight. I don't have that power. I'm just a little peon in the United States here. But I think if the leaders of the country can sit down and talk, let them decide on what type of government they want, because democracy is not for everyone.
Thank you.
I'm glad I brought that up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Alay Shalom.
Can I just say one thing about what you said? If you go into the history of the state of Israel itself, the way things are taken, look at the story of Abraham alayhi salam, look at Ismail alayhi salam, look at Isaac alayhi salam, Joshua. When you look at Jacob, Joshua, you look at Solomon, Dawood, Musa, Harun, Yunus, Yusuf, all of them, look at it. These are cousins. The Palestinians, the Arabs, and the Jews are cousins. Wallahi, I believe that if the whole world will leave them alone today, they will find a solution to their problem.
Right.
There will be find a solution. A lot of people are just playing game with people's life.
Right.
If the world will leave them alone, wallahi, they're going to find a solution.
Right.
Don't interfere. Tell them, you Israel, you people, you are closer than yourself than any other human being. This is a holy land that belongs to all humanity.
Right.
In fact, that area should have been United Nation of the whole world.
Right.
All
Not
God's
yet.
chosen people,
Right.
whether what
And then
race or
let them
religion
do
you
it.
are.
Let them serve it. But look at look at the United Nations. Look at the United Nations.
They can't
Look
solve
at the
anything
games that
themselves.
people are playing. You want to Nabi Daniel alayhi salam, Prophet Daniel. They call him Daniel in English. Go read his writing, his prophecies again about time, even before Muhammad. He said, "Wallahi, at the end of time, the whole system, government will become similar to the Greek, the Roman, the Byzantine, the Babylonian, and the Persian Empire. And the religious leaders and everything will become, just like Prophet Muhammad said, the Quran will become a book of competition and entertainment. He said it, and the liars will be leading the world, and the truthful people will be rejected. That is what is going on.
Yeah.
You tell the truth, you are crazy.
Right.
Some people don't know what the truth is
They
until
don't
it
know,
faces
and they don't want to
actually in the
know.
face. Right.
You ask them, where do you get information from? Television. Television is a box.
Right.
I call it satanic box.
Right.
It's not a human being. It's like a computer. Oh, why did you put it? Oh, the computer printed. Computer is not a human being. Computer print what you put inside it. And that is what you're dealing with today. And that is why knowledge is very important. That people know the truth, people study by themselves. Most people, once they leave this country and they go abroad and they see things differently, they come back, they change. And then people leave their place, they come here, they see something, they say something different.
Well, not many Americans get a chance to go abroad.
Yes.
I have been abroad. I lived in India. And the color over there is so versatile and flexible. So are the people.
Yep.
And I loved living there. To me, that is my second home.
Yeah.
Always be.
Until American people stand up one day and said enough is enough, because because the two political parties have betrayed American people, and majority of people are they just want to pay their bills. So whatever the television said or whatever the leader said, look at the history. America used to tell Americans, lie under the bed, go to the bunker, because the Soviet Union are going to kill you. I was in Canada when Reagan said, Soviet Union are your brothers and sisters. Give them clothes, give them food. In other words, the government tell you who to hate, when to hate, and how to hate. And then they turn around, they said, love, and when to love, and when to hate. This is what we're dealing with. And we listen to them because we elected them. And we expect them to be sincere and be truthful to us. The whole government in the world, there's no government except God.
That's right. There always will be God.
أحسنت شيخ يوسف. بارك الله فيك يا شيخ يوسف. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of us. Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah. Anybody has any other questions?
Thank you.
Questions?
On Islam, different about Islam.
بارك الله فيك. Inshallah. حطهم يا شيخ.
About the Prophet, about Jesus, about everything.
So, brother, he brought you some flyers regarding if you want to learn more about Al-Islam, about Isa alayhi salam, Muhammad, about almost some of the prophets.
Life after death.
So, inshallah, if you like to take advantage and read of these flyers, so you will come to have it with you, inshallah. Any last question? Any questions? Like, inshallah, so when we have some snack prepared for you, inshallah. So before we do that, let's just conclude our session with supplication, dua. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما واجعل تفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل فينا ولا منا ولا حولنا شقيا ولا محروما. اللهم اجعلنا هداة مهتدين لا ضالين ولا مضلين واغفر لنا يا أكرم الأكرمين. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم اهدنا واهدي بنا. اللهم اكتبنا عندك من المقبولين. اللهم اكتبنا عندك من المقبولين. اللهم اشرح صدورهم للإسلام يا رب العالمين. اللهم اشرح صدورهم للإسلام يا رب العالمين. اللهم ارحم موتانا واشف مرضانا وتجاوز عن سيئاتنا يا أكرم الأكرمين. اللهم اهد أبناءنا واهد نساءنا واهد سائر المسلمين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.